I like what you say about not playing the ending. That's really important.
Yeah, that's the first rule of telling a story to me.
Okay, The Sessions is so, how do I say this? So interesting and rich and well written and well acted and well directed, and so complicated and not as salacious, crazy, dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever, with the internet, crazy stuff's out there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is what it is, not what you want it to be, or what you think it might be. It is what it is.
Yeah.
When you see it. That's a part that is just rare in life that an actor gets.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way?
For sure. It's certainly the most challenging role I've ever played, and on many levels, and so that's rare in and of itself. The films dealing with the human body and sexuality are unlike any American film I've seen. Again, is a lot of nudity and a lot of talk about sex, but it doesn't seem salacious or exploitative or dirty. It seems healthy and yet still sensual and beautiful. But my mother's 82, and I'm anxious for her to see the film. I think that she won't be put off by it at all. I think she'll understand it. We all have bodies under our clothes, as much as we pretend we don't every day. And I feel like this movie celebrates the human body in a way that I don't know how you can really argue with.
The Lone Star Film Festival has really reached out to you, and I assume you've reached out to them because it's a mutual thing to be here and to be celebrated. I think you're a pretty humble guy, so it's probably not easy for you to get up and say, "Hey, look at me, I want to talk about me." But you can talk about the work all day long, and people will get it. I think at this film festival.
I think so.
I think they get it here.
Maybe I should change my speech.
Don't. It's a good festival.
It is.
It's hard.
I love
place.
Texas. I love being here. Again, I've gotten to spend some time in this area over the years, doing work, having friends up here, and to be asked to come and be honored is something that I just couldn't avoid or walk away from. It's a pleasure to be here. Again, I'm not a super public person, as you say. I know it seems ironic as I sit here and do an interview with you, but I'm happy to be here, and I hope I represent well.
It's a conversation. I don't know. I don't see any cameras.
Well, you and I have a conversation, and then after that I give a speech.
There you go. Do you have a favorite Texas movie? It's a big, broad question. Because there's a lot of them.
There sure are. I think Johnny B. Good's the best. I'm kidding.
God bless you.
Well, I have to think on that for a minute.
I can riff on a few.
Ones.
Bonnie and Clyde was great. In terms of endearment, Tender Mercies, Stripped to Bountiful.
Love them all. Yeah.
Robert Benton's work in Texas, Places in the Heart. Wings was the first Oscar-winning film in the history of the Oscars. Was made in Texas.
Here. I had no idea. Those people, a lot of them, he taught them to fly their own planes.
Fly their planes.
Yeah.
They were all
wouldn't happen today.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But it gets good. I guess the point I'm saying is it's not its own country, but it's its own place. And you lived here for a long time.
10 years.
Lyle Lovett in his song said, "That's right, you're not from Texas. Texas wants you anyway." He was writing about you.
I hope so. That it was a lovely sentiment. I mean, when I moved to Austin in the late '70s, there were a lot of Yankee Go Home bumper stickers and things like that, and I understood it. But I was hoping to be a valuable citizen and someone who wasn't trying to cut the widest path, but to try to be a part of a town of Austin that felt magical to me, and I wanted to serve it well.
You ever play with the great Monty Montgomery?
No.
He can shred guitar.
I don't doubt.
He's great.
I feel like he might have opened for a play in the West. We had a bunch of great singer-songwriters who would open for in the West.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, Jimmy Dale Gilmore, all these guys. Used to get up and before we did this play in the West and play for 30 minutes, and then we would do our monologue show. And there was no better way to begin an evening of theater than to have a wonderful songwriter and singer sit down and play.
Last question for you. It's a little more philosophical. But if you take away income and publicity and notoriety about what you do, because whether you want to control that or not, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it really just gets down to the moment of doing it. What do you really love about acting?
Well, I know that when I was in 10th grade, we got on a bus and went 150 miles northwest to the Guthrie, or southeast to the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis, and watched a matinee of Arthur Miller's The Crucible. I'd never really seen a play at that point in my life, at 15 years old, in my little town. And I was stunned. It was a life-changing event on some level. It was a burning bush moment. I was made to feel something and to think by the work these people had done. And I wondered if I could make other people think and feel on some level. It's hard to put words to, but it just felt like that was a home that I might want to live in on some level. And it took a while to even get started, but it was always in my mind. I guess it was only a year later that I was asked to be in a play, or asked to audition for a play. They needed warm bodies. It wasn't, we performed our plays in the gymnasium. We didn't have a drama department, anything like that. But I had the same experience in that first play. I had 2 lines, but I could lay in bed at night and recite every character's words, the songs they sang. It was a musical. I could do the whole play in my head after 2 weeks, and so that's an indication that I was interested, for sure, and that felt like a piece of home too. I had a wonderful family, but I was interested in the creative home, the circus as I call it. I like the circus. I like circus people, and that involves you all as well, people who've chosen a creative path in their lives. I think it's connection, I guess, is the word I would use. Both within yourself and certainly in on stage, you feel it with an audience. I swear I've been on stage and been in the middle of a run of play that we've done 20 or 30 times, and on a certain night an audience will communicate to me to do one little thing that I'd never done before, and there's a roar of approval or gasp or whatever it is that comes from that I don't know how to explain, but I think that it's again, it's connection on some level. And when you throw out all of the bells and whistles that go around acting, the money and notoriety, things like that, I think that's what it boils down to. I know that if a bomb dropped tomorrow, I'd be, if I survived, in an alley somewhere, banging rocks together and making up a poem, performing for the 3 people who also survived, and telling them about the day as I saw it. So it's just what I want to do.
Bravo. Thank you. Good conversation.
Thank you very much.